Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Father Roy Bellen. At ngayon, kakain na naman tayo. Titikim ng bagong masarap na pagkain. At ating kasama, ang ating pong gwapong-gwapong batang-batang pare. Kayo na bahalang maniwala o hindi. Si Father Hans!
Ang daming sinabi. Mukhang hindi naman siya naniniwala sa sinabi niya.
Ako yung naniniwala, Father Hans.
Hello po sa inyong lahat. Ako po ay nagpapasalamat sa patuloy ninyong at ituloy-tuloy nyo lang na pag-imbita sa akin.
Regular ka na ba? Ang sabi sa'yo, regular ka na?
Hindi pa. Patuloy nyo lang po kayo imbitahan dahil napakasarap, napakasaya na naman ng ating kwentuhan at mamaya kakain tayo dito sa ating napakasarap at masayang programang
Tastetimony Season 4! Ay nako, masama ang loob ko.
Bakit naman?
Ako na ang katabi ng kalan. Mamaya, after ng ating show, ako na ang mangangamoy. Father Hans, dito ka kasi.
Ako'y nagpapasalamat pagkatapos ng ilang pag-imbita niyo sa akin. Hello, nakaupo dito. Pero pag ikaw, ang sarap ng ano ah. Bakit pag ito? Ngayon parang...
Tuloy na reklamo ka.
Pero kuya, kasi nga, hindi man ito ganun ka mamahalin at masarap, pero yung kakainin natin ngayon, tunog mamahalin.
Siyempre, parang kakaiba, sounds foreign. Pero siyempre, ang ating pong kasama yung araw na ito ay napaka-Pilipina. She looks very Filipina. Mayroong Filipina beauty.
Naman! Kaya naman po, din namin patatagalin para makita nyo na po siya at higit sa lahat, para maipagluto na po niya tayo. Let us welcome our guest for today, Miss Mayen Ramirez.
Hi, Miss Mayen!
Hi, good morning.
Miss
Good morning, Father Roy. Good morning, Father Hans.
Hello po.
Magandang araw po and welcome po sa Tastetimony, no?
Thank you for having me.
Si Miss Mayen po, si Mayen, siya po ay atin pong mga kwentuhan, lalo pa nga po ngayon mga panahon nito, marami siyang kwento kung saan marami sa atin na makaka-relate tungkol po sa pandemic ika nga, no?
Yes, as usual, hindi lamang ito pagluluto sapagkat ang Tastetimony is about your reflections,
Yes.
life stories, and life lessons.
Sabi nga, busog ang tiyan, busog po ang kalwa. Miss Mayen, bago tayo magkwentuhan, ano po ba ang ating iluluto ngayon pong araw na ito?
Father Roy, for today, we're going to have, it's a Persian delicacy. It's called beef kubide.
Kakaiba to.
Beef, ano yung beef? Kubide.
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 Normally, it's made with lamb. Pero because, because lamb is an acquired taste.
Hindi lahat
Yes.
friends sa lasa.
Gagamit tayo today ng beef.
Yan ang
Beef.
kilalang-kilala talaga lalo ng mga Pilipino. Beef.
Beef, yan.
Beef kubide.
Kubide.
At ano po ang ating mga ingredients for this beautiful
So, I've prepared
food?
1 kilo of beef. Actually, this one is better if there's fat, no? So fat is good. Just don't eat so much rice with it.
Lagot tayo sa nanay.
Because it helps, di ba, para hindi magsabog-sabog.
Yan.
Okay, then we also have lemons for just to make sure na hindi siya, what do you call that? Hindi tayo maumay.
Kaumay, oo.
And then there's onion and garlic, of course. We'll mince this later. We have olive oil that will mix. All of these will be mixing. So we have paprika, a teaspoon and a half, and then a half a teaspoon of turmeric, 3 teaspoons of salt, and 4 teaspoons of garam masala. So garam masala is an Indian spice actually. So, but normally, I had this kasi at home. Pero kung wala kayong garam masala, you can always use cumin. Cumin powder.
Cumin
But yung cumin powder, yan, may bili sa pangkaraniwang supermarket.
Yes, it's everywhere.
Pero
It just so
yung garam
happens.
masala, hindi siya mabibili, ordinary.
I always go to an Indian store
Okay.
for that.
So, sasadyain mo talaga.
Oo, sasadyain. I just had a lot of it kasi at
Persian
home.
food.
Oo. Sa ating po mga viewers, first time, ito ang isa sa mga, well, of course, we had Italian. Pero naman,
Yes.
Persian, First time tayo magkaroon ng Asian, Far Eastern na
Kasi nga,
pagkain.
ito ay Persian.
Persian eh.
First time.
Oo, Persian.
Kaya ayoko sa upuan na ito.
Wala akong kinalaman sa'yo, Father Hans. Wala akong ginawa sa'yo.
Simulan na po natin ang first
Sige
time
po.
Persian food.
Persian. So second yan, the Persian. No? So ano po ang ating pong unang gagawin para po i-prepare ang ating pong kubide?
Okay, so first we have to mince to chop, no?
Yeah.
These first. So you get an onion, a medium-sized onion or a large onion's fine.
Oh.
Okay,
So while you're slicing po yung onion, siguro ito yung part na we have to like to make kwento.
Yeah.
To make kwento.
And to know her more.
Let me use this one na, because you know, for
Wow.
hygienic purposes.
Yun, naku.
But normally, if you're just doing it at home, of course, just wash your hands, and then you can, of course, you can just use your hands. Hands are, they're the best tools.
Yes. Ito yung time na maganda yung may face shield eh. Hindi ka maiiyak sa onion.
Yeah, tama.
Ah, talaga?
Oo, di ba? Nakakayak na.
Yes.
Tingnan natin, pag ako naiyak, mahina
Hindi,
face
oo
shield
nga,
natin.
Mahina ang face shield ng
Oh, fake yung fake shield.
Fake,
shield.
fake.
Fake shield siya.
Fake.
Oo, nabudol
Fake
ako.
shield. Anyway, simulan natin ng magandang story.
Oo.
Ano ba magandang tanong natin?
So,
Una natin.
the first question is always, of course, ano po ang ginagawa ni Mayen? Ano po ba ang, what do you do? Saan po kayo? Taga saan po si Miss Mayen? Ganun. So, una-una, ano pong ginagawa ni Miss Mayen? Ano po ang trabaho ni Miss Mayen?
Okay, so for the longest time, since before, no, of course, I started working corporate for about 11 years. And after that, after senior leadership positions, I thought of, I said, I think it's time to serve the corporate world as a management and training consultant. Because I really love training. That's really what I really like to do.
Wow, people person.
Yeah, and to think I wasn't really, a people person growing up.
Diba?
Not because I didn't like people, but because
Lalayo na
But
ako.
only because I was-
May dala ako ng kutsilyo. May mula akong maitanong.
only because I was extremely shy.
Wow. Pareho
So,
tayo, ma'am.
Yung medyo, ang tawag doon, reserve. Ganun ba, ma'am? Medyo
Oo,
reserve po ba?
sobra nga eh. Oo.
Ganun tayo pa.
Oo.
Na-expire na. Sobrang ni-reserve. Oo, na ano na siya.
Yan tawag po doon, ma'am, binuro.
Oo, naburo na. Tama.
Pero
For the longest
by
time.
profession po, Mayen, Miss Mayen, ano po ang inyong...
Nag-train daw.
I'm really,
how do you do
if
training?
by profession, I am a learning and development consultant.
Ano po ba ang ginagawa ng learning sa ating po mga viewers na medyo
Consultant.
first time marinig ang learning and development consultant?
Okay, well, learning and development, it's before it used to be called training and development, but now we're looking into, professionals kasi, learning does not stop after
Yes.
college,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Or after your master's. It goes on. Learning is a continuous process.
Lifetime.
Yeah, for di ba? I mean, that's how we look at learning,
Yes.
di ba? It has to be something that we do for a long time, as long as we're alive,
Yeah,
right? As long as we're living.
Having said that, nagsabi nga, we only start learning when you're 6 feet under the ground.
Oh, talaga?
Nagsabi daw
Yeah,
niya.
di ba?
Dapat every day we are ready to learn.
Yes,
Diba?
and the-
every day we can learn something.
Exactly. And most of the time kasi also as people, that's what I notice also, like as people stay in their jobs, no, they tend to know a lot of things. But sometimes also knowing does not equate to learning. Actually
Wow.
the more
Mabigat yun.
Diba?
Knowing does not equate to learning.
Yeah,
Yes.
because you may know things, but learning kasi is the action tied to knowledge.
Yeah.
So if you do something with that knowledge that you have, that becomes now learning, right?
Pingin papel sa kabuti. Parang ko ba atin na ng ano? Seminar.
Parang meron tayong
may
free
sneak preview
consultation
na. May
ngayong
sneak
araw na ito.
preview na.
No?
Ma'am.
So that's when learning starts to happen. So, di ba, like, we always tell our children, di ba, we tell children na, oh, you have to learn, you have to learn. But I don't normally
Diba?
hear that anymore. Or even if I say that in the office, this is the word that I normally hear eh. Alam ko na yan.
Yes, diba?
Diba?
I know that already, no?
Kung alam mo na, ba't ka nagtatanong, no?
Yeah, and I think, I think hindi lang yan sa hindi lang yan sa office. Even, well, mga kapatid sa simbahan, no, kahit
Yeah.
saan. Even at home. Even at home din, diba? Sabi nga natin, everything begins at home. Pero kung
Yes.
may ganun na tayong thinking na alam ko na yan, ayaw na makinig, ayaw nang sumunod, o ano po ngayon ang
Next ang
nangyayari?
garlic.
Ano na po?
Next ang garlic.
Garlic.
Sige. Okay, so you just mince it also as fine as you can. Actually, if you have a food processor, it's better that you just balatan nyo lang yung garlic, isama nyo na lahat. Oo.
So ngayon, yung pag, ano, alam mo yung pag hirap na hirap kang mag-aral, parang galit na galit ka talaga.
Oo, di ba? Ito, ano to, pwede tong
Parang
Kasi meron
outlet.
ako chilyo.
pangtanggal lang sa mga loob. Ano ba sinasabi ng teacher ko kanya talaga?
Outlet to, outlet.
Outlet.
Oo.
Hindi.
But yeah, may mga tao po yan talagang ang relax nila. They cook. I know of some priests, no? Na pag sila ay after nung nakapagod na
Yeah.
araw sa simbahan, sa parish,
The week.
at dealing with some difficult people, they just cook. Tapos yung pagkain ang anghang.
Oo.
So binubuhos yung
It's
yung kanilang,
therapeutic eh.
ano.
Cooking is therapeutic eh.
Ang galing. Pero before this pandemic thing ho, before ano po yung gano'n yung schedule ninyo? Saan po kayo nagbibigay ng mga ganyan lectures ba? Yan.
I have like a cluster of clients who have been with me for the last decade, ever since 2009 that I started doing this.
The training.
So yeah, and I'm very, very grateful for their trust in me for all these years. So there, no, it's all over the Philippines. Some are the top 1,000 corporations in the
Diba?
in the
Sama tayo
country.
ngayon dun kasi she's with us. TV Marias na
Ang TV
one of the
Maria ay
top.
kasama sa mga top ano ba to?
Saan mo sabihin? Makangoya eh.
Oh, hindi.
Of course,
Talagang-
with the help of our viewers, nakakatuwa
Yes.
sabihin na tayo po ay nag-uusapan, and then we have been receiving letters and messages and even po mga mensahe sa social media thanking us. And of course, ito nga, gaya po ninyo, Miss Mayen, maraming mga kwento, gaya niyan, yung
Oo.
knowing is different from learning.
Saka Kuya Roy, Miss Mayen, tayo ay worldwide na. Kasi nga po 'di ba, ang ating mga Filipinos all over the world ay nanonood, no? Follow TV Maria programs and shows. At napakaganda ng sharing ni
Sinabi niya, oo.
Miss Mayen kasi lalo yung mga Pilipino abroad na sila rin nagiging leaders doon eh.
Yes.
Di ba pag tayo nakakapaglingkod tayo sa ibang bansa, namimit natin yung mga Pilipino who are also leaders abroad. Kaya yung sinasabi ni Miss Mayen, maganda for sure yung mga kababayan namin nakikiisa sa TV Maria program ngayon ng Tastetimony. Lahat sila ngayon ay nagsusulat na. Dahil ang ganda na sinasabi ni
Oo.
Miss Mayen.
Kaya kayo po ay maghanda ng papel, ng ballpen, ng lapis, para lang po whatever.
Oo.
Umpisa pa lang yan, no?
At saka po kung sakali po na gusto nyo imbitahan si Miss Mayen dyan sa ibang bansa.
Sa Dubai. Kayo
Pupunta
pa
nyo
sa
naman po
Dubai.
kami ni Father Roy.
Kayo po nga, magbubuhat ng
We
maleta.
come in threes.
Oh, we come in threes. Ayan po sa nagsabi niya na. We come in threes, hindi. Kuya rin, naalala niyo po sa seminary, meron tayong mga human formation.
Yes. oo.
Di ba? Parang naalala ko yung ating mga speakers noon with Miss Mayen na nagbibigay ng ganyan. Kasi nga pag naging pari tayo, hindi lang tayo pari kundi tao. Dapat marunong tayo makipagkapwa-tao.
Siguro, no? Ngayon pa lang, we have already heard at least some profound, no? Bagay na naka-inspire. And I'm sure later, we will hear more kay Mayen kung ano po ang mga mai-share niya as a trainer at as a person who would really, sa corporate world, ating maririnig anong ginagawa nila, no?
Oo.
And so, mag-break muna tayo. Huwag kayong aalis. Babalik po kami.
Yes. Hello po, tayo po ay nagbabalik sa isang masarap na pagkain, beef kubide with Miss Mayen. Kailangan ko pong gandahan ng aking pagtayo, pag-upo at pagsasalita sapagkat siya po ay isang expert sa paghuhubog sa pagkatao ng tao. Miss Mayen.
Kaya nga ako din po ay
Okay, ako na rin.
Ayoko po na gano'n maglilkot.
Kasi human formation.
Kasi baka po ako binabasa. Ganito lang po ako.
Hindi. Ay, ito lang mo, Miss Mayen.
Father Hans, kasi kanina, naisip ko, baka makalimutan ni Father Hans yung pangalan ng Persian food
Oh.
preparing. Kasi kubide.
Beef kubide.
Beef kubide. Para maalala mo lang siya, bakit ba tayo naka-lockdown? Kubide.
Buti na lang po, nandito ako nakaupo ngayon. Si Miss Mayen parang tipid na tipid
Don't
yung
take
kanyang
against me, Miss
pagtawa.
Mayen. Don't take against
Tapos
me.
po,
Magpa-fag magpa-fag.
uy, tuloy na nga po natin.
Oo
Baka
nga,
po,
kung napunta.
kung saan mapunta.
Teka, mag-behave ka nga, Father Hans. Baka
Okay.
sabihin tayo ay mga bad
Miss Mayen, what is next?
Okay. So there, the next one is to get your beef.
Yan.
Okay, so you
beef.
just put it here in the...
Beef na tayo.
Oo. Lagay na natin. Kasi this one's so easy to make. Kasi mix mo lang lahat.
Oo, ground beef.
Oo. Teka, mali ang aking gloves.
Oo.
Okay.
Kasi lefty ako eh. So dapat ito may gloves, di ba? Okay.
By the way, ito as I've said, mamaya, of course, we'll talk about yun pong kung paano she was into cooking before siya po ay sa corporate. Nag-train
Yes.
po
Right.
ng mga galing, ng mga, in fact, Mayen, yung mga officers ang yung tinitrain, no? Madalas,
Oo.
or yung
Yeah,
Companies po.
mostly because my expertise is really on leadership development, leadership and management development.
So, may executive yan, mga
oo,
level
kasi
na
hindi
yan.
naman porke, staff lang ba tinetrain?
Oo,
Because again, as leaders also, we have to be role models, right? So
Yan.
how can you be, if you're telling them you have to learn, then you're not learning yourself,
Exactly.
diba? You're not leading by example.
I'm just curious why you're mixing ito, no? I'm just curious, kasi parang pag leader, ito yung part na medyo matatigas ang ulo, eh. Leader na ako, eh. Kaya nga ako, I'm executive na nga ako, eh.
Yung sinabi kayo ni Miss Maya na alam ko na yan.
Ayan.
Yes.
Diba? Sa amin po mga pare, minsan may mga, even among priests, no?
Yes, oo.
Right? Minsan, ano bang alam mong hindi ko pa alam?
Nako.
Parang pag may gano'n na. Sa inyo po experience, Mayen, how do you handle yung mga
Ganyang
tao na medyo
personality?
may superiority complex, no?
Okay. Well, first of all, I don't really look at them that way, no? Because maybe it's like most of the time it's people's defense, eh, like diba, that's our instinct to be defensive, and they might really know it na talaga. But saying kasi already, it creates that barrier in your head,
Exactly.
or in the way you think. If you know it, then what's there to learn? That's why I always say the greatest enemy of knowing, of learning, is knowing.
Oh, ulitin po natin.
So-
The greatest, pakiulit po, ma'am.
Talaga, si Father Hans, talagang immersed talaga ano, no?
Uy,
Mga
totoo
papel
po
at
ito.
ballpen, ha?
Kaya kayo mga nanonood, nag-notes po ako. Di ba? TV Maria Prada. Donate lang, meron ka na nito.
The greatest
Sige.
enemy of learning is knowing.
Yeah.
Ayan, hindi
the
kasi
greatest
maganda yung
enemy
sinabi ni Miss
of
Mayet.
learning.
Hindi ko alam kung off-cam yata niya sinabi na the shortest pencil is better than the longer memory.
Longest
Longest.
memory.
Longest memory. So, yung effort mo, parang sa pagluluto rin, hindi naman, bago mo ka makatikim ng masarap na pagkain, paghihirapan
May
mo
konting
rin.
ano.
Yes.
Kasi yung learning natin is yung habang hanggang ngayon po, ako'y pare ng ilang taon na, I still make my homily guide notes.
Same here.
Yes.
Diba,
Very important yan.
Exactly.
Malaking bagay ho yun sa matuto. Kaya, take down. Sige
So,
lang po.
apart from,
Susulat ko lang.
Father Hans, lubusin ko na para mamaya lagay mo dyan, no? Ano po ang isa sa pinaka-common, as I would say, issues na ang mga leaders ay meron na you always have to remind them, apart from the fact, sabi nyo nga, pag sobrang you know things, ayaw na matuto. It becomes a hindrance for you to learn more. Ano po yung madalas po na magandang paalaala, lalo na po sa amin, mga pare siguro, or even sa mga nanonood po kayo, na as a leader, you have to have this, or kailangan ito ang iyong iisipin.
Well, as a leader, because I was also, also in the years that I was in corporate, I was also a leader, and I always tried every day, like you have to have a purpose when you, not just a purpose, but a purpose for what, right? So you have to be very clear. Leaders have to be very clear about what purpose they want. Right? So
Para
is it to
saan? Oo.
excel? Is it to make someone better? Whatever it has to be action-oriented. So having a purpose, and not knowing where you're going kind of defeats the whole thing of actually going somewhere. So mostly the leaders, their challenge would be, handling different kinds of people, right? So, diba? So if the different kinds of people, syempre, different ways then of dealing with them.
Yes.
That's the mistake most leaders make, right?
Oo nga.
When
One
they-
size fits all
Oo,
madalas
one
eh.
size fits all.
Tayo,
Dapat one size fits one. Customized leadership
Yan.
dapat.
Yun.
One size fits one.
So one size fits one. It's difficult, but as I always tell the leaders that I train, mahirap pero posible.
Oo.
No?
Kasi may ganun tayo minsan attitude na, kung siya kaya, dapat ikaw kaya mo rin.
Oo.
Kung siya ganun, dapat ikaw din.
Kung gumawa sa'yo lahat,
Medyo
mahal sa
hindi
kanya.
maganda yun,
It's not
ma'am.
because first of all, we hired them for different skills, di ba?
Yan.
So why are you expecting them to perform the same way?
Tama.
Right?
Sa atin sa simbahan, we say, God made each person unique.
Oo.
Unique. And so, they have different needs, different approach ang kailangan mo siguro sa kanya. Siguro, we acknowledge yung pagiging unique ng tao if, may konting effort ba?
Right.
Na hindi siya one size fits all.
ayan.
Yan.
Father Roy, will do na the lemon.
Lemon.
Lemon. So, naihalo na po yung sibuyas, bawang, and the
Yung
beef.
beef. Ito yung
Yeah.
pang-kontra sa umay. Nabanggit ko
Yeah,
yan.
oo. And it adds that zing also to the
Ah,
dish.
okay.
So you just
kumakanta yung
remove,
baka,
if you don't
kakanta
have a
yung baka.
lemon,
Zing.
Ano pong tawag sa personality ng ganyan, ma'am? Pakitulungan niyo po ako.
Huwag ka maingay pa.
I think Father Roy is just really happy.
Ayun!
That's always a
I'm
good thing to
happy.
have.
Yes, of
Diba?
course. Joy in life.
Mas buti na masaya kaysa malungkot.
Oh, di ba? Wag lang.
I'm happy and joyful. Happy and
Joyful.
joyful.
Yes. Gano'n po karaming lemon, ma'am, ang
Half a lemon is all we
lang.
need, so, or 2
sa isang, in 1 kilo ho?
in 1
In
kilo.
1 kilo, half a lemon
Okay.
can.
So, if you're squeezing it by hand, don't forget to remove the seeds.
Yes.
Oo, kasi
Or else,
Dagdag flavor.
you will know, you will get a prize when you get the
hindi
seed.
sasaya sa Father Roy niyan.
Lobat. Pero ngayon po, no, after having heard, ano po yung may background tayo, no, nagawa ni Mayen, ano, with all the pandemic, with this pandemic going on, si Mayen po, I'm sure,
Oo.
she also had to make
Affected din.
adjustments.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Especially, corporate, yung mga opisina, hindi lahat po yan bumalik, no? 100% in operation, eh, no? So, we would like to hear, paano po kayo nag-cope sa,
Adjust, no?
sa pandemic pong ito?
Yes.
Well, actually, I wish I could say it was sudden, no, na I thought about it, you know, that I was a quick thinker as I am at work. But no, because I think most of us also, we tend to be creatures of habit, right? Because yun na yung nakasanayan.
Sanay ka, oo.
Right? So for me, I was thinking, normally naman my trainings kasi start talaga normally November or December and January, wala. Because everyone's busy with the holidays.
yeah.
So normally it's February, right? So iniisip ko, baka na-late lang. Okay, so there was a few in Feb. So sabi ko, okay, siguro baka wala pang nagsischedule. So but, yun, the good thing is, they scheduled naman. It just so happens that this happened,
happened.
right? So for me, the pandemic, for me, is not a problem. For me, it's a constraint. We can't really do anything about it itself, ha? So when it's a constraint, our goal is to work around it. Okay? Kasi pag problem may solusyon eh. Ngayon naman wala pang solusyon, 'di ba? Ilang buwan na. So we work around it if it's a constraint. So if
Grabe,
it's a
no? May mga nuance,
Diba?
mga words talaga si Mayen. Iba yung problem,
Pang
iba yung...
formation program talaga, no? Ang galing. Para
So-
ako nag-review ng human formation. Ang invite ni ma'am sa mga parishes.
Oo.
You also do that, hindi lang sa mga
Yes,
company,
I do. I
schools
actually
like
do
that.
some for churches in Pasig there.
Di ba?
For the youth, for the youth.
Hanapin niyo po sa Pasig.
For the youth, for the
youth,
scholars,
oh, diba?
yan. Kasi, di ba?
Malaking bagay.
Kasi future leadership
Yes,
naman is not...
exactly.
Di ba, binibigay mo yan, hindi pagka-leaders na sila. Hindi kapag nasa kanila yung title na leaders, pero yung nandun ka pa lang sa pagiging formation ng being a leader.
Right.
Di ba? Wow.
So, siguro
let's
mamaya,
put, well, I'll put the olive oil, ha?
Olive
Yan,
oil.
There.
So,
So this one is an emulsifier, so it emulsifies the whole...
Teka to. May tissue ba? Parang
Emulsifier.
Kulang konti yung ilong.
Emulsifier yung pag...
Hindi kinain ng...
Pinagdidikit-dikit lang.
Okay.
Okay.
Yun lang pala, nagdidikit-dikit.
Madaling
Emulsifier.
Okay, then we get the
Emulsifier.
Para
paprika.
Hans, we learn. We learn.
Why? We should learn. Di ba,
Yeah.
ma'am?
Okay, yes. Paprika is not really, Father, no?
Ano po yan, ma'am?
Wala naman talagang taste yan. It's just for color.
Okay.
So then I put turmeric. These are both for color. Just a slight flavor. Okay, but of course you don't want to forget your salt.
So,
Siyempre, kailangan yan.
I didn't put pepper anymore here because garam masala has pepper.
So yan
Okay,
po yung
so-
mag-add ng spice for it to
Yes.
become Persian.
garam masala.
Yeah. So this one kasi is a combination of a lot of spices of Middle Eastern, of
Persian.
yeah.
Talaga,
So
nakakatawa kasi first time na itong Persian
Persian
food din
nga eh.
tayo, no?
So if you don't have garam, you can use cumin or cumin. Okay, just
Cumin.
plain cumin. You can find it on all the shelves in the spice rack. So
Ang galing. Then mix
yeah,
na lang
then you
po
just
yan.
mix. This is the fun part, diba? So you you just
Uy,
mix it. Oo.
Sabi nyo nga po, mahalaga may fun din.
Fun,
may
kasi
joy
ibig sabihin,
yes, yes.
sa iyong ginagawa.
Exactly.
Di ba?
In fact, yun po, siguro bago tayo mag-break, you have to be happy or you are happy with what you're doing para, yung what you're doing is becomes meaningful for you, no?
Yes.
Para gaya niya, no? Sabi niya, fun dapat yung paghalo-halo.
Exactly. And Father, the thing is, for me, happiness is it's a state of mind, right?
Yeah.
And normally, if you're already sometimes you think you're not happy, but then you start doing something you like, right? So then that's why I said, okay, training is something that I love so much. So I said, and what's next? Painting. Yes, I have done paintings
Wow!
also.
May art
But-
din pala to.
But
May arte.
this one creates kasi, the painting kasi may mood eh. Ang food, You need to eat eh. 3 times.
May gutom.
I need to feed
May
my
gutom
niece.
yan.
So this one was something I really made, no? This one I was making before, pero I perfected it over the quarantine.
So ito yung sabi mo nga you have to go around the
Yun.
whatever
Yes.
constraint na meron tayo. No?
Constraint.
So ito yung part, sabi nga, kanina we were talking, parang off-air na, ito yung you were able to reinvent.
Reinvent.
Yes.
Paano nag-start po yan yung sa food?
Yun, naisip na, I actually invited nga my cousins
Okay.
to the house, no, kasi they live close by lang naman. So I invited them and they
Neighbor.
said, and I fed them this and they said, why are you not selling this?
Oh.
So that's when it started.
Support ng pamilya talaga.
Oo,
Siyempre.
the family is
That is the
really
support of the
important,
family.
no? And my cousin actually said, I'll be the first to buy.
Ah.
So may buyer na agad ako, di ba?
Siyempre.
Convince, pero
Sinong-
convince talaga. Hindi naman sa, sige na nga, kunwari, masarap.
Hindi, talagang...
Masarap talaga.
May mga time din po na sabi, uy, parang medyo hindi maano, magaya, may mga criticism din or
Actually, ewan ko, basta...
Awkward siguro siya, di ba?
Minsan inisip ko, binobola ako, pero mukhang hindi naman. No?
Maraming
Talaga-
umorder, eh.
Kasi he
Maraming
was saying it while eating eh.
Oh, wow!
Anyway, so while we are actually...
Naamoy ko na,
Oo nga eh.
Amoy mo na?
Kung paano
Naamoy
itong...
na. Diba?
Anong pangalan ng pagkain? Father Hans ulit? What we're cooking
Beef.
today? Beef?
Kubide.
Kubide. Kubide. Sabi sa'yo eh. So,
Okay.
as we continue po yung reinvention
Yes.
ni Mayen, how she was able to go around the
It's
constraint.
not a problem, it's a constraint.
Yes.
Nasulat ko na.
Very good.
Walang kopyahan mamaya, bahala ka.
Mama tayong test mamaya. Wala naman siguro.
Wala.
Kinabahan
Wala
ko
naman.
bigla.
Hindi ako naniniwala sa test.
Ay! Wow! Yung teacher ko.
The test is in the action. Di ba?
Yan! Naku, uy, kuya, bilisan para makabalik tayo kagad.
Okay.
Dali.
Mag-break po muna kami kasi
Okay.
baka mag-behave ng test bigla yung aming pong guest ngayon. Break po muna. Okay nga, alis.
Okay.
At tayo po ay nagbabalik sa ating programang Tastetimony, pero sa episode na ito, hindi lang po kutsara, tinidor at plato ang aking kailangan. Kailangan ko ng papel at ng ballpen sapagkat napakarami natin, Father Roy, na natututunan.
Yes.
Hindi lang tungkol sa pagkain with Miss Mayen.
Yan tayo. We don't just know things but we come to learn.
Yan. Pero Father Roy, bakit parang clear na kakain na ba tayo?
Hindi ba?
Hindi pa.
Relax lang. Miss Mayen, why is it now clear ating pong
Ayun, kasi-
table ngayon?
Kasi Father, we used the last 30 minutes no to make the flavor smelled in the fridge.
Wow.
So Father, if you
Okay.
could please
30 minutes po talaga yun, Miss Mayen.
pull out minimum. Minimum. Overnight the best 'yon.
Okay.
So ito po ay, so we have to put it inside the fridge para lang po.
Mag-melt. Then of course, ideally you'd like to put cling wrap over this. When you put it in the fridge for longer than 30 minutes.
Okay.
Okay?
Huwag kakalimutan
So
yun,
I can turn this on now? Miss Mayen?
Yeah, and then, well, we'll have to, normally, dito naman, hindi lang required. I just made a makeshift na, kasi normally if you buy kubide or kebabs in the restaurants, di ba, it's in these skewers.
Yeah, opo.
So, but it's in the flat skewers. So,
okay.
but since we're pan frying it, I'll just put it here. No, so that you can just slide it off when you want to eat it na.
Parang embutido.
Oo, parang embutido. Pero kung ayaw nga natin, pwede rin naman na, what do you call this? Pwede din naman, kahit ano lang, yung parang,
Bilot lang,
oo,
ganyan
parang
lang.
ganyan lang, kahit ano, wait lang, let me wear again the
Ipa-fry din
last
po.
one. Okay.
Diba?
May
Hold
ganun
on.
pa palang mga procedure.
Choices.
Pero mas maganda talaga, use your hands. No, but if you're just home, just wash your hands, ha? Make sure.
Yes.
Don't forget the 20 seconds. Okay.
Yan.
Okay lang.
Father Roy, ano yun?
So,
Sorry. Pero, ma'am, baka po may negative
Ay,
comment
naku,
kayo sa akin.
ma'am.
Patawad po, patawad.
Nabawasan na ang point ng personality ni Father Roy. Ayan, ganyan.
ayan. So
Yan.
normally, you put it like this.
Pwede po yan.
What I normally do, the one that I sell, is just, it's rolled and then flattened. And then they come in fours. But if I cook it at home, then I want to put it in skewers. Diba? Kasi yung sinesell natin, pwede naman nila i-mold ulit eh.
Ayun, yung natatanong
and put
ko
it
po.
on sticks,
Ayun.
diba? If they really, like, if they're going to use it for, a party. So pag ganito, you just like do this one and make sure it, okay, ayaw dumikit kasi.
Ayan.
Parang
so-
parang nakatuhog talaga.
Oo.
Pero siya,
So you just wrap it
nalibot mo
around
siya.
around the skewer, whatever you're using,
Uy,
and then
ganda.
just make sure that it's pantay.
Kakaiba talaga
Pero
to.
pag sila po yan, bawa yung nag-order sila, they can choose, they can request kung anong gusto nilang...
Kung
No,
natusok.
no, it's really packed already.
Ah,
Then I
okay.
only make once a week.
Wow,
So I make a
rare
good,
naman ang commodity
no, a
ito.
good
Bakit
batch.
po? Bakit
no,
po?
but it's a lot. I make a lot once a week. Kasi nga, di ba, like, you know, you have to do something else. That's why I continuously develop also kasi my programs. So I put also time into that. You know, I try to balance the time, not because, you know, it's cool, because I don't want to be eaten up by the whole, you know, selling thing, and then I get so tired and I'll start hating cooking. Well, first, maybe I'll hate kebabs first. No, that could be there first. Then I'll hate cooking, I hate myself. You know, that's one thing that you don't want to happen.
O, ano po yung magandang lesson yon? How will you teach us, diba?
oo.
Yung anong value niya para po sa mga nag-start din ng ganitong online selling, diba?
Late fun.
Itong
Late
cooking. Anong maganda po may papayo niyo po sa kanila coming from that thought?
Well, for this one, I really think na when you reinvent yourself, you have to be very clear about what you want to happen first. Na is there another aspect of you that you'd like to discover?
Sorry, ma'am. Be clear.
Ma'am,
Is there not-
mamaya po after ng program, singilin niyo po yan, ha? Siya po ay
Ito
kumobra.
naman, hindi ko na nga pinansin yun.
Sharing is caring, Father.
Sorry.
Anong personality yung ganun mo?
Hindi ko siyante. Naniningil.
Hindi, maganda po.
Sabihin sa akin.
Sige, ma'am, ano po yung maganda yung sasabihin, ma'am?
exactly.
Be clear.
Diba? Be clear on what you
want.
what you want. That one is very important first because you know it gives you a clear picture of you know something, another aspect of you.
It
Diba?
reminds
Kasi
me-
changing times eh. So
Yes.
dapat changing,
Yun,
diba,
maganda.
perspective din.
It reminds me of Cardinal Rosales. So when he said, no, sabi niya, a leader without a vision,
Vision is
Yes.
treason.
treason.
Sabi niya,
Oo.
treason.
Exactly.
Maganda
Oo.
yun.
Dapat meron kang direction, anong gusto mo, saan pupunta. Otherwise,
Kataksilan.
maraming tao po ngayon nakakalungkot mong sabihin, pero when they wake up, parang they just try to live kung anong hindi sila ginagawa. Pero every day, doon lang talaga sila.
Exactly.
Dapat
They get
rediscover,
stuck.
reinvent, no? Kasi yun ay part din ng learning, di po ba, ma'am? No?
Yes.
Yung when you start to reinvent, and di ba? Para bang nandun yung handa kang matuto sa
Exactly.
bawat bagong araw na dumarating, handa kang matuto.
Yes.
And it will make you a better person.
Exactly. Kasi I think also, if there's one thing good about what this pandemic has brought us, it's taught a lot of us to slow down, you know, and focus on the things that matter.
Yeah, essential.
Okay, the essentials, diba? Kasi sa akin, diba, before, I remember nun, people would always say, wala akong time, no time, diba?
Ayan.
So, for me, I think that's one thing that we have a lot of now. That's something we have in abundance, time.
Time.
But the question is, what do we do with our time? Right? So that's when you now sit down and really think, what should I do with my time?
Very providential.
Diba?
Parang,
Oo.
of course, hindi man gusto ni God na mag-suffer yung mga tao. Pero in a way, is giving us, sobrang busy nyo. Wala na kayong time.
Oo,
Ngayon,
yun.
I'm going to give you time by force. Kaya,
Parang sabi ko nga niya minsan sa mga reflections, it's not, parang bang, you always have the time. You always have the time. Kung sabihin wala kang time, you just have to learn how to give time.
Exactly. Make time, di ba?
Make time.
Make time. Always make time. Kasi, I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you tell yourself you don't have time, your
Yeah,
body
wala lang
listens
time.
to that, your mind listens to it, and wala kang ang time.
Diba?
And to think, isa pang maganda yun to, dahil nga, you have more time, lalo po kayo, I'm really curious, kasi you're in the corporate. Paano po yan nung nagkaroon kayo ng pandemic, you get stuck sa bahay, so you were forced, all of us were forced to have time with the family.
Yes.
So, kayo po, what was
Family.
your experience sa family po ninyo when you get stuck
Yes.
sa bahay?
Well, the family, there's just two of us at home, really. Okay, because for the longest time, I was with my sister. But 2 years ago, she passed. It was hard, of course, for me and my niece, no, to lose her kasi we were like the trio, eh. That's how we always were, every single
Partners in
time.
crime.
Yeah, so it was an adjustment also. But at the same time also, like lalo na ngayon sa nangyaring pandemic, we were thinking, what if ate was still around? Na, sabi ko, oh my God, she'd hate what's happening, di ba? Like, siguro the only thing that would be familiar for her was she always wore a mask kasi she's immunocompromised. So, yun lang siguro.
Kahit dalawa lang kayong
Dalawa lang
partner
kami.
in crime na ngayon.
Yeah, my
Wala bang
16-year-old.
balak love
What?
life?
Sino?
Ay,
Ako.
sabi ko sa'yo,
Ingat ka. Sorry, babe. Sorry po.
ay, naku, ano ba personality na?
Father, ha?
Yeah.
Me
Parang
or-
showbiz.
Kayo po.
Ano? No, I think I don't want to look at it as love life kasi. For me, I think it's important that you live life. And then whatever comes along, living it to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
Whatever is for you, God will give it di ba? So, yeah.
Live
But if
life.
you're asking me kung magla-love life ako, no. Answer no. No.
Diba? Alam niyo na
Mga-
po.
Yeah,
Baka
because
mo
it's
dyan.
not in the
No.
it's not in the priority di ba? So,
Hindi pa.
At saka parang hindi naman niya doon na hinahanap ang kaligayahan niya.
yes.
Na para bang, kasi minsan may ganun tayong thinking na kapag ikaw ay tinatawag
Kailangan mo
na...
asawa para maging masaya ka.
Oh,
ganun.
no.
Paano naman kayo
Mali.
mga pare? Di masaya. Ganun
Kaya
ba?
nga,
Ay,
ang saya-saya
nako.
mo. Di ba?
Hyper.
Kulang pa ba?
I'm counting them kasi yun yung gagawin natin. Di ba?
binibula kayo po yan.
Masaya ang studio.
Actually, yun po yung kailang, the first thing when they saw, the first reaction I saw, kasya kaya yun? Nung nalabas niyo po yung meat.
Kasyang-kasya
Ganun
yan.
sinabing 1 kilo. Di ba? Dapat talaga pag gumagawa ka ng isang bagay, hindi lang para sa sarili.
Gumawa ba kayo ng rice?
Ayaw, may rice.
Oh, may rice yan.
May rice daw
handa na
po.
sila. Handa na
Sabi
sila.
ni Harley, may rice daw.
Bakit natatanggal? Ay, Father, paksindi na natin.
Okay.
Para...
Ay, tamo naman. Yung, alam mo, Kuya Father Roy,
Yes.
gusto kong matanong si Miss
Ano po,
Mayen
low
kung
fire? Medium fire?
Medium.
Medium rare? Ano ba?
sa pagluluto po, mayroon po ba kayong naalala about your parents, yung kung sino sa kanila? Mayroon ba kayong sa kanilang medyo, doon ko siguro nakuha yung ano ko.
Actually, no. My parents don't cook kasi they were busy, especially my father. But I grew up kasi with lola. Laking lola kami.
Naman tayo sa mga lola natin.
Yeah, we were lucky to have two grandmas at home. So they both cooked for us. So when we'd always make pakialam in the kitchen. So, but they always say, go, alis. No? Pero matigas ulo ko di ba? So I'd always really, So those are the things na growing up na naayos ko pa. Kumbaga nabigyan ko ng justice naman yung luto nila.
So right now po, sa pag may mga family gatherings po kayo ang nag-volunteer o kayo ang
Bino-volunteer.
Hindi naman, minsan. But my brother kasi cooks also
Ayun.
So, mas masipag yun magdala sa Ako masipag ako umorder. Pag party.
Having said that, kasi you were mentioning kayo na you're a sister, tapos may niece kayo, pero
may
also have a
brother.
brother.
Yes, I also have a brother. So there's 4 of us.
Four.
There's 4 of us. Yeah, but I only live with my niece.
Opo.
So the 2 are already, they have their families also. So
Pag gaganyan po na meron kayong mga young professionals and then you also teach them. Saka they also ask your advice.
yes, definitely. We're like barkades because we're all a year apart. All a year apart. So alam na natin,
Talaga.
So all a year apart.
Diba? Kasi iba ngayon ang siguro po yung dating mga haharap tong mga to sa mga mga bosses nila, mga nakatatanda nila sa
Oo.
companies, 'di ba?
Ayan.
Wow,
Lagyan na
ito na. We're
Ayan
going
na,
to put na
oh.
yung isa sa
So
mga...
this one, you don't need oil kasi nga we have olive oil
Opo.
na. Para rin, pag i-grill nyo, pwede rin siya i-grill sa oven.
Pwede rin sa oven.
Oo, pwede
Alam mo
rin
yung
sa
Persian?
oven.
Naamoy ko na.
Hindi,
Ito yung Middle
nakapag-
Eastern na mga pagkain.
Kapag holy lang tayo dati nun, 'di ba? Sa ganyan, no?
So,
Anyway.
I'm sure you guys, you can do it better pa than how I'm doing it, but you have the skewers.
Wow! My
So
God!
one
Father
for
Roy!
you, one for me. Wala kayo. One for
Naku,
you, one
talaga
for me,
naman
one for...
po. Excited na po kami kumain ni Father Roy. Naku, kaya po huwag kayong aalis dyan at mamaya ikukwento na namin sa inyo. Ngayon naman kami magkukwento ng pagkain inihanda sa atin. Magbabalik po tayo sa Tastetimony.
Okay.
Bango?
So
Wow!
mga 10 minutes yan.
Wow!
Bango.
Wow!
Mukhang
Roy.
ready na po ang atin pong COVID Nako. So we are back. Finally, ito po yung best part ng ating programa. Ito yung part wherein we get to taste and eat and share ano po ba yung mga naging realizations and reflections po ni Mayen ngayon pong episode na ito. So Mayen, is it now ready?
Yeah, that's ready already. I'll just plate it.
Eto na.
Woohoo!
Diba? Ang isi-share
Person
natin,
siya, pero pag may kanin, naging Pilipino bigla.
person with a touch of Filipino.
Yan. Bango, bango.
culture.
Yan pala yun.
Ang isi-share natin mamaya yung panlasa, yung lasa.
Yes.
Ang isi-share mamaya sa atin ni Miss Mayen ay ang kanyang mga lessons pa and magandang maipapayo, lalo-lalo na sa panahon na ito.
Kasi sa kanya, she has a lot to share being yung kanyang line of work is
Oo.
to train, to guide, and even po, minsan may mga taong kailangan i-correct siguro, yun po yung kanyang line of work. No? So, Mayen, siguro, last segment ng ating pong programa, what are those learnings na from your experience, hindi lang ito yung intellectual na what you share to them, but for the past 11 years, no? Sabi, 11
Yeah.
years, na ikaw ay nag-work sa corporate world, ano kaya yung mga natutunan mo na you think pwede mong i-impart din sa amin, sa mga nanonood?
Well, in relation to what's happening around the world now, this time of pandemic, one thing that I've learned personally is to see things in different perspective. Like, siguro, with training, parang you know that there's always money, right? There's always resources. Resources is abundant. However, during the last 7 months, one thing, and it was actually my niece who made me realize that. Sabi niya, Aunt Mayen, how this is fantastic. I really feel happy that we're able to live on less. So that means when there's money now, there's more that you can save. So there, I think while really everyone's goal now is to make money, diba? Is to make ends meet. And which is also my thing, but I saw beyond that. I saw beyond something that I can apply in the future. Like even when everything goes well, I think COVID will leave me as a different person.
Galing, no?
Maganda yung sinasabi niya.
Bata yung nagsabi.
Yeah, sabi nga to live on less, pero di ba tayo naman, andun sa atin yung panawagan na to excel.
Yeah.
Pero
Yes.
siguro yung to live on less, siguro yung tingnan natin yung mga bagay na hindi na pwede naman tayong mabuhay din ng nag-excel ng hindi na may ganong karami at kalaking mga bagay
Exactly.
na,
Saka
di ba?
yung kaya naman pala.
Yun.
For the longest time,
Yeah.
kailangan, dapat ganito ang dapat ganito ang karami yung pera, pagkain. Minsan meron pa nga tayo lagi, no? Meron tayong may extra lagi. May extra,
Yeah.
may ganyan tayo.
Sobra.
Dapat yung sabon, dapat maraming sabon, maraming
sobra
toothpaste,
lagi.
no? Sobra lagi. Pero now that, sabi nga ni Mayen, through her niece, sabi niya, kaya pala. Pwede
Oo.
pala.
Diba?
Kaya pala, di ba? So, what it taught me is to get out of my comfort zone, di ba? So that I will find another comfortable zone for me, di ba? Kasi yung comfort zone, if you don't live there, you won't know what's out for you and what's there for you.
Parang yun ito, nabasa ko, total naman ito ay cooking show, nabasa ko ito sa isang wall about eating. Sabi niya, gusto natin, di ba, akala natin, pag gusto mo medyo magpabawas ng timbang, ng laki, bawasan mo yung kain mo. Sabi doon sa nabasa ko, it is not to eat less, but to eat right.
Wow.
Na to eat right.
So, we will eat right.
Yes, we will eat right now.
And this is the right time to eat.
Mayen, meron
Okay.
something dito sa...
Yes.
Ayun, nadagdag.
Oo. So ito, no, kung nagtataka kayo, no, this is simply kasi if you eat at Middle Eastern restaurants, or Persian restaurants, you'd find this yogurt sauce, right?
Yogurt
So
sauce.
this one, you can easily make this at home with sour cream. Bahala na kayo yung ratio ha, kasi some people are not into sour cream, they're more into
Yes.
yogurt.
Yes.
So this one is an equal mixture of sour cream, yogurt, and mayo. Okay, so any kind of mayo, but I specifically use the Japanese mayo here so that it's tastier.
Ayan.
So then I put
First time
garlic.
Japanese.
Oo, tapos may garlic din yan, Father. Garlic na minced. Pero lahat yan, binano ko sa food processor kasi tamad ako. So, in that sense. Kasi gusto ko maraming sauce lagi sa fridge. So, I always make a big batch of this one. So,
Alam mo, Asian food talaga, no? The
Oo.
Persian, Japanese, pag may
Oo,
kanin,
lahat yan.
Pilipino.
Oo.
Kaya tikman na po natin
Sige,
ito.
sige, sige.
Yes.
Alright.
May we?
Oh, Father,
Bless
come
the
on,
food.
come on.
Yes.
Thank you for the food. We're about to receive
Yes.
from the goodness
Okay.
through Christ, our Lord.
Amen. Ayan. Father Roy,
Alright.
ikaw
Give you
na
the honor of this
maglagay.
man to
go.
serve sa amin.
Okay, oh.
Pero
Father,
halimbawa po,
oh.
baka ano po may papayo
Have a
po ninyo
taste.
sa presentation? Bukod sa ganyan, may mga pwede pa ba tayong gamitin, isama, like,
Yeah, you
normally
just put it here,
ganyan, may tomato,
Yes.
di ba? Minsan may ganyan ako nakikita.
Oh, you can grill tomatoes, cucumbers, onions. There, you can grill those
Tapos
things. Bell
isasama.
peppers.
Ayun.
Hans, gusto mo ba?
Ay, tinanong ako. Father Roy,
Kasi baka kami na
bakit?
lang eh. Baka ayaw mo eh.
Damihan
No
mo,
sauce.
Father, kulang yan.
Ganun ba? Marami
Pero
sauce.
tirahan natin sila.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kasi sino po
Gal si Cathy,
po sila?
Sino
po sila?
Ako yung tinuro, sila.
Hindi,
Sabi.
wala pong tao sa harapan eh. Camera lang po ang nandyan.
O, ibigyan mo na ako, kuya.
Joke lang po. Baka mamaya patay kami ng kurente nila sa harap dito eh.
Ayan. So, pero kailangan po ba marami? Hindi, no? Depende sa'yo rin
Depende,
talaga.
but mostly kasi 'di ba, we always may extra lagi.
Oo.
'Di ba when we eat out?
Yeah.
Kaya 'di ba kaya andun yung mga spouts.
Yan.
Yan.
So this one has may chili flakes din yan. Kaya-
Habang titikman natin ito, Miss
Mother Hans,
Mayen.
do the honors.
Yes.
Don't forget.
Of course.
Ang
Buti
huli.
sinabi mo yan. Teka lang. Uy, yung aking notebook. Punong-puno talaga ang aking
Alam mo,
notebook.
Miss Mayen, we had a lot of guests here. Sumubo
Including-
na may face shield.
Including the
Kahit siya.
co-host.
Thank you Sharon for warning me.
Yeah.
Oo, di ba?
Sige nga, Father Hans.
Okay. Oh.
Let's
Yes.
taste.
Oh, sige, you eat
Yes.
first. I want to see your
It's going to be the
faces.
First time to
Wow.
taste itong...
Uy, ako rin. First time ko
ang pangalan
to.
ito? Kobide.
First time ko rin
First
makakain ito.
Sige nga.
Dinasalan naman natin.
Yeah.
Yes, oho. And this is a new thing to learn. To eat kubide. Pero,
Masarap?
Sobrang sarap. Yung lahat ng lasa kanina, yung mga spices kanina. Tapos yung ano tawag doon? Yung spice that makes it
Ang lasa.
taste like a Persian food.
Garam masala.
Garam masala.
Sarap.
hindi ganun kaalat. Kasi nga po, hindi nyo nilagay ng yung... Saka hindi ganun ka... May ang tawag doon, may tapang din kasi yung paminta, sabi niyo po, nandun na sa sauce. Ay, nasa, garam masala ba ang tawag?
Father
doon?
Hans,
Yes.
kantuan mo na kayo ni Miss Mayen. Kain na ako. Sarap eh.
Wala. Kuya Roy,
Ah,
ikaw talaga. Pero Miss Mayen, ito po, wala namang yung bang para sa mga gusto medyo healthy, laging beef talaga or pwede rin sa ibang chicken.
Pwede rin sa
ganyan.
chicken, pero the chicken kasi normally when we get it ground, you can also use na lang yung chicken breast, di ba? And use the same spices,
Oo.
pan fry it, grill it, it's okay.
Ako first time ko lang nakakain ng ganito kasing
Oo.
ganitong, kailangan ba ito ay normally hindi maalat, hindi tapang din?
I think the alat kasi it's di ba, preference yan.
Yeah,
so
may
yung iba
mga
gusto
tao medyo
maalat,
mataba.
yung iba gusto mas malasa, mas herb.
Yeah.
Oo.
That one, can you put more spice dito sa...
Yes, definitely. Okay, but
Biko.
since I'm selling it, I try to dial down on the spice. Like, so it's medium lang.
Para sila rin yung
Their
magtitimpa
choice
din.
siguro ang gusto nila, no?
Yes, wow.
Anyway, Miss Mayen, ako, I really love the food.
Yung sauce,
parang
masarap.
simple, no? Pero napakasarap.
Thank you.
If there is one thing about your experience of reinventing yourself, no? What message can you give ngayon po mga araw na ito? Ang daming siguro going through the same and went through the same experience that you went through. Pero many of them, of our kababayan siguro, hindi ka kahit sa Pilipinas, basta Pilipinas, medyo hirap ang term mo ay mag-reinvent. Ano kayang advice ang pwedeng maibigay sa ating mga kababayan na ganoon? They're having difficulty adjusting and going out of their comfort zones.
Well, my advice, my real advice is first, of course, to never lose hope. To have faith, not only in, of course, faith in God,
Yeah.
but faith in themselves. No, because it's sometimes it pains me na how some people just pray and pray, pero they doubt themselves. So it doesn't make sense, diba? To
Yeah.
doubt yourself and then believe in God.
Yeah.
Diba? So you need that self-belief to know exactly, to be clear on what you want to do
Yes.
next.
Ako parang ang alailig din sa episode na to yung word na self-reinvent.
Reinventing the self.
Parang sa panahon na ito, talagang ito yung isa sa mga, imbis na maghintay lang tayo na matapos itong problema
Yeah.
ito, natatawag
Very
natin
passive ka lang, no?
Ngo, parang imbis na yung binabalikan natin, nagbibilang tayo ng nawala, nasayang,
Yes.
na natapos. Why not kagaya ng ginawa ni Miss Mayen at sa marami pang iba
Proactive,
na
yan.
reinvent tayo, no?
Oo.
Baka ito yung time for us. We give time to reinvent, to learn new things that will make
And to
us
discover your new other talents. No?
Yeah.
Minsan, tago.
Ay, Father, hindi yung ano na, no? Dapat ano pa.
Yeah,
Oh, maganda yun, ha?
Father Hans, sama mo yun dyan.
Hindi
Basta
ano
mo
na.
yan. Ano pa? Of
Sa
course,
next episode po may libro na po ako.
yung lahat ng mga guests mo, no? Dahil nga lang po, I'm sure many of our viewers would like to taste what we are tasting right now. Yung masarap na pagkain ito, na Persian flavor, na? Ito pong kubide. Ano ba ang paraan? Maybe there are some of our friends here who want to also taste.
Oo.
How can they get in touch with you, or how can they get at least yung itong pagkain na ito?
Well, right now, I admit, no, we still don't have any Facebook or Instagram page, but my niece is working on that.
Wow.
Right now, you can get in touch with me via my mobile number, or you can just message me on Facebook, because I'm on Facebook anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. One down, but still, sabi nga hindi lang ano na, kundi ano pa. Yun,
Magandang,
let's move
maganda
forward.
sa umaga na pagising mo, ano pa ba ang aking magagawa at matututunan?
Exactly.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much
Father Roy.
po.
Thank you, Father
very
Hans, for
much.
having me.
Personally, I learn a lot talaga.
Andyan nga, kita ko nga
I
Dahil mo
learn
nasulat
a lot talaga. Kaya maraming salamat po.
Thank you also.
So with that, nice po namin again, mamaya, no, while we eat and continue tasting, enjoying po yung food, mag-break muna kami. And sana po, you have learned a lot from the sharing of our dear Mayen. Pabalik po kami.
Thank you!
Napakasarap na pagkain at napakasarap na kwentuhan, Father Hans, ngayong araw na ito sa ating episode with si Miss
Mayen.
Mayen.
Yes.
Na ating kinain na kayang COVID.
Beef COVID.
Beef
Oo, at
COVID.
saka hindi lang ito masarap na pagkain at kwentuhan. Talagang napakarami nating natutunan. Ako, obviously, di ba? Oh, yan. Meron ako talagang, baka makita yung penmanship. Pero I really learn a lot, no?
Sabi ko nga kanina, yung learning niya about, it's actually reminding us ngayon pong pandemic na hindi lang po ito time para magmukmok.
Yan.
Sabihin mo na sayang, dahil kong di nagawa, ang dahil kong di magawa, at nakakainis na, kundi it's time to see may mga oportunidad, may mga pagkakataon na pwedeng magawa, especially we were given more time. Yun
Do
po
not
yung sabi
find
kay
time,
Miss Mayen.
give time.
Yes.
Yun ang mahalagang sinabi niya na let us always give time every day, every morning is a time for us to learn, to become a better
Not just
person.
know, take note knowing
Learn.
and learning, they are two different things.
Oo.
Yeah.
Saka yung sa atin ay matuto tayo maging mas mabuti pa. Sabi nga niya, hindi yung ano na, kundi ano pa. Ay, napakaganda nung sinabi niya yun. Yung ano pang magagawa kong mabuti, ano pang maibibigay kong tama sa buhay. Siguro yun ang ating, ako babaunin ko. Ang dami niyang lesson na...
Dahil mo nakain kayo na,
ang dami.
babaunin ka ba, Father
Uy,
Hans?
ang dami niya talagang...
Sobra ka?
Ang dami ko naisulat talaga, pero maraming salamat. Naalala ko nga yung pagsusulat. Sabi niya, napakahalaga nun. Instead na kinakabisado mo lang, isulat mo.
Isulat mo.
Kasi kaya nga pag gumagawa ko ng homily hanggang ngayon kahit makalimutan ko yung aking ginawang index card, pero naiwan
Nag-stuck
dito.
sa utak, sa memory.
Saka I think yun din yung live with the now din na yung hindi mo lang kakabisaduhin para bukas, enjoy mo yung ngayon kasama yung mga tao na nasa sa iyo.
Hindi ito practice. Hindi, ito na yun. Ito na yung actual na buhay, and you make the most of what you have here and now.
Imagine mo sa ganung pagkain, ang dami natin nasabi, no? Ang dami
Nabusog ka na. Dahil pang nakuha sa iyong isip, sa iyong imaginasyon, at sa iyong natutunan sa iyong puso.
Kaya dumadami ang followers ng Tastetimony.
Balita dahil sa'yo daw
Bukod doon. hindi talaga marami tayong naririnig na feedbacks din sa mga
Yes.
comments. Maraming salamat po sa inyong mga patuloy na sumasama sa atin dito sa programang ito, hindi lang para matutong magluto, matuto ng bagong pagkain, kundi sa sumabay na lahat tayo ay matuto sa buhay.
Tsaka, additional po sa inyong phone book, ang additional place where to order mga bagong mapagkain po ngayon pong time nito
Yes.
ng quarantine.
Kaya naman po, join in for the best way to one's heart is through the stomach.
So let us serve one another with grace before meals and after meals too. Ako po si Father Roy Bellen.
At ako po si Father Hans Magdurulang. Muli po tayo magsama-sama dito sa isang masarap at masayang programa ng Tastetimony.
my advice, my real advice is first, of course, to never lose hope. To have faith, not only in, of course, faith in God,
Yeah.
but faith in themselves. No, because it's sometimes it pains me na how some people just pray and pray, pero they doubt themselves. So it doesn't make sense, diba? To
Yeah.
doubt yourself and then believe in God.
Yeah.
Diba? So you need that self-belief to know exactly, to be clear on what you want to do
Yes.
next.